In this video, we will be demonstrating how we want to simplify radicals. And a radical is a number underneath a square root. One method that we can do is to break this up into a tree. And so here we would call these two branches. And we want to say, okay, well 72, I know I can say 9 times 8 is 72. So these are factors of 72. 9, I can break that down even further, so here are more branches of the tree into 3 times 3. And we know that 8, we can break that up into 2 times 4. And then lastly, 4 breaks up into 2 times 2. And we know we're finished when we can't divide any further. So 3 and 3, 2, 2 and 2 are not divisible by any numbers other than 2 in themselves, or 1 in themselves. And so then I'm going to circle all of my final numbers. So I know these are all of my final numbers. And don't be confused, even though they're not on the same line, they're all the last steps, they're all the end. And with a radical, square root of 72, this is the same thing as the square root of 3 times 3 times 2 times 2 times 2, my final pieces. And with a square root, we know that if I have a pair of two numbers, I can pull one of them outside of the square root. So I've got a pair of 3's, I can pull those out. Here I've got a pair of 2's, I can pull those out, and then I'm left with a 2 on the inside. Now do 3 times 2, we have to make sure we multiply those, and we're left with 6 times the square root of 2. 6 times the square root of 2 is the simplified radical of the square root of 72. Another example, we have the square root of 50. Square root of 50, we can break 50 up into 2 times 25, and we know that 25 is 5 times 5. And so again, circle my last numbers, and I don't have to go through and fill this step in again. I can just see, oh, I've got a pair of 5's, so I can pull that outside my radical, and I'm left with a 2 on the inside. Alright, one final example. Let's see here. We have the square root of 204. We know we can break up 240, that's 24 times 10. 24 we can break up into 8 times 3. 10 we can break up into 2 times 5. 8 breaks up a little bit further into 2 times 4. And then one more, 4 breaks up into 2 times 2. So go ahead again, circle all of these final numbers, and let's identify all of our pairs. So here I have a pair of 2's, so I can pull those out. I have another pair of 2's, so I can pull those out. And on the inside, I'm left with a 3 and a 5. So again, here, the last step we have to make sure we do is we multiply. So 2 times 2 gets us 4, and 3 times 5 is 15. So 4 times the square root of 15 would be our final answer, the simplified radical of the square root of 240.